Hello everyone and welcome to Monomoy Regional High School for this South Shore League matchup between the Monomoy Sharks and the visiting Carver Crusaders. I'm Aiden Doyle and I'm joined by the voice of the Sharks, Monomoy sophomore Ben Thomas. One of the keys going into this game will be the battle on the glass for important rebounds. Ben, I know you spoke with Carver coach Roger King earlier. How does he plan on using his team's size advantage to get the advantage on the boards?
He said that one of their key players was their center, who's actually measured out at 6'6". So it's going to be a struggle for Monomoy, being that most of their players only tap out around 6 foot at the tallest. So hopefully they can control the glass, and then that'll lead to good runs out on the break as well.
Monomoy coach Adam Rose said the only way to stop bigs like that is to be physical and keep them uncomfortable. Monomoy's looking to set the tone early tonight and send a message to Carver that they aren't going to be intimidated by their pure size. Well, Ben, we are 43 seconds away from tip-off. The Sharks come into this game 0-7. This is an important league matchup for Monomoy and Carver. Carver comes in 2-2 in the league, and both teams are looking to get the victory here in Harwich.
The coach said that their record 4-4 overall is partially only due to them facing lots of tough teams out of the league. We'll get started here in a minute.
Now we will the starting introductions will take place.
Athletic experience. I would like to announce the starting five for the Crusaders of Carver High School. His number is 2, Sean Willis.
Sean Willis, one of the leading scorers for Carver.
Number 4, Chris Willis. Number 10, Anthony Robertson. Number 12, Jared Chadwick. And last but not least, number 20, Cashmere Watson. Coach King is the coach of the Carver Crusaders. Now let's hear it for the starting five for those Sharks at Monomoy High School. His number is 21, Chris Mazulis. Number 20, Sam Reed. Yes, Eli is coming. Number 13, Eli Nickerson. Number 3, Bobby Joy. And last but not least, number 2, Matt Popoka. Adam Rose is the coach of the Sharks of Monomoy High School. Officials for this evening's games, Marty Graham and Ron Garrison. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. With his folks, practical technical difficulties here.
All right, we are just moments away from tip-off. Both teams are joined together in their pregame huddles. Ben, I'm going to kick it to you now. You are the play-by-play guy. Good luck tonight. We're hoping for a good game.
You can already see the height in the huddles. You can just see right away. The 6'6" center, number 20 for Carver, just overpowering. It's going to be tough to see how they match up with them. But they'll see what they can do with players like Dave Nichols and Sam Reed.
Monomoy clearly is at a disadvantage when it comes to height, but they do have strong guard play led by 8th grader Bobby Joy, who has surprised a lot of people, being the only 8th grader on the roster. It'll be interesting to see not only how the size advantage for Carver plays out, but whether or not Monomoy is able to establish dominance in the backcourt.
Here we go with Chris Missoula's taking the tip against the 6'6" center. We'll see if he can outjump him. The ball's up. As expected, Carver wins the tip. Number 10 will bring it up for Carver, and he'll swing it over to number 4. Matt Pomoka playing tight defense. Lots of screens being set in the backcourt. Good defense by Chris Missoula. He gets it on the break. Number 2 chasing behind, but he's not late. He's fast enough. Chris Missoula grabs his own rebound, but puts it up, and it's no good.
Monomoy's got to finish in situations like that if they want to win.
As expected, lots of offensive rebounds for Carver. They get out to the perimeter where number 12 will sink a 3. Inbounded to Chris Missoula, so we'll take it up the sideline. He crosses over on number 2. Goes in for a layup, but misses that one as well.
That's a careless turnover for Monomoy. They've got to take better control of the ball against these 2 captains in Chris and Sean Willis for Carver.
They are brothers as expected, and they're also the leading scorers for Carver. Number 12 takes it out of 4's hands, who gives it over to 2. There was a travel on number 2. Good defense by Monomoy. They go turnover over turnover here, and Monomoy gets the ball back.
Monomoy coming out in a zone defense, but Carver is pressing early, trying to put the pressure on these Monomoy guards.
You can see how versatile their backcourt is, how they change who they inbound the ball to. Nice crossover by Bobby Joy at half court. Screen set for Pomoka by Eli. And he misses the shot off the screen. Number 4 now brings the ball back up and slows down the tempo. I'll give it to 12, who hit the 3 earlier. Nice take that time, but it's not enough. And he gets his own rebound somehow.
Adam Rose has tasked junior forward Sam Reed with the
nice block by Eli Nickerson.
Casimir.
Recovers the block and brings it up court. Almost another turnover there. Chris Missoula brings it in again, and they called the foul.
That'll be the first foul on senior forward Sean Willis. Missoula will inbound the ball. Adam Rose calling for triangle. We'll see what he has in store.
The foul was on the floor, so they will be inbounding it. Gives it into Matt Pomoka, who will swing it back out to Bobby Joy as they reset. Chris Missoula's off the screen, takes a shot beyond the arc, and he doesn't get enough on it. Carver on the break, beautiful back. Oh, very, very nice recovery by Carver. Good passing out on the break.
Missoula's struggling from the floor early. He's 0 for 3.
Monomoy easily breaks the Carver press. Nice take by Missoula's off of the Euro step between the 2 Carver defenders. Chris gets the Sharks on the board as number 12 will bring it up for Carver and try to retaliate. You can already see how much of their offense they run through number 12. Number 4 takes the 3 off the dribble. Nice rebound by Bobby Joy as he takes it up himself. They'll reset again. Nice steal by number 4 on Carver. Bobby tripped himself up there. And he doesn't have enough to get back in time, so he'll foul him to prevent the layup.
Very surprised by Carver's play early. They don't seem to be getting it down to the big men as much as I anticipated. I know they're led by 2 captains, the brothers Chris and Sean Willis, but they have a significant size advantage. As we mentioned before, I would look to them to get it down to guys like Casimir Watson as the game progresses.
It has been a surprise that they have gone to Jared Chadwick early on, number 12, who's just been subbed out for number 13. Number 10 also comes out for Carver. Missing off the first free throw. He'll try for the second. And he goes 0 for 2. Out of bounds, Monomoy ball.
So far, not a great start for either team. Not very high field goal percentages, and both teams struggling at the line early.
There was a foul on Matt Pomoka, which means it will turn over the ball to Carver. Sloppy foul there by Matt Pomoka.
Foul on Monomoy guard Matt Pomoka, and Coach Adam Rose isn't happy. Seemed to be a push-off between Pomoka and Carver forward Casey Fernandez.
Definitely a questionable call. Number 4 will try again as they get a second chance. Number 2 sets a screen for number 4, who will take it off the dribble. It's a nice take, but it's not enough. Sam Reed will grab the board and pass it over to Chris Mazulis, who gets it up to Matt Pomoka. He takes the runner, but there's a foul off of the rebound. I'm guessing that is on Eli Nickerson or Matt Pomoka.
Seemed to be a little bit out of control there.
Yep,
from
Eli
Pomoka.
Nickerson got that foul.
Eli Nickerson, that's it.
Gotta let it settle a bit more, run the offense. They're not gonna beat them in transition so far. Carver's guards seem to be a little bit too fast for Monomoy to handle right now. Set it up in the half court and let your offense go to work.
Off the screen, 13 gives it over to 2, gives it back to 4. It's a nice drive, but even better defense by Bobby Joy, who takes it up court. Using his speed to his advantage, he gets the foul and tries to put up a shot in time.
Bobby Joy has done an excellent job so far this season as point guard of the Monomoy Sharks. Like I said, the only 8th grader on the roster. And Coach Adam Rose has been very impressed with his maturity and blown away by, he's just done exactly what Monomoy's needed him to do, and Adam Rose could not be happier with his 8th grade point guard.
And Jared Chadwick was just subbed back in for the Crusaders. He's number 12, and he is their primary guard. Matt Pomoka off of his own take. Nice foul, and he'll get to the line to take 2. Matt Pomoka elated after that.
Casey Fernandez, that's his second personal foul.
Matt Pomoka is a fairly efficient free throw shooter, so we'll see if he can come through yet again here for the Sharks. He makes both of these, it turns into a 1-point game.
That's 2 fouls on Fernandez, the Carver guard. The sophomore has gotten into foul trouble early before, but we'll see how he responds going forward, and especially how Coach Roger King responds to having one of his starters in foul trouble with only 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
Refs discussing near mid-court, and they appear to be ready to go. The foul was on number 2, which is Sean Willis, one of their senior co-captains.
Second, 4th for the team.
Carver not necessarily in foul trouble, but 2 fouls on their co-captain is not good early on in the first quarter.
Listening to this one, how
There's
plays
a
out.
technical foul, so Matt Pomoka will take the free throw, and Monomoy will then get the possession after. Huge point swing here for Monomoy.
So that's 4 fouls on Carver early. Foul trouble is one thing that Monomoy can definitely take advantage of, especially if they attack Carver's size. Obviously, Casimir Watson's on the bench right now as Matt Pomoka knocks down the free throw.
Complete air ball on the second free throw. Don't really know what happened there after. It seemed he knew what he was doing after the first. But since it was a technical foul, they will get the ball back, and Matt Pomoka will make the inbound.
Just seemed to be a lack of concentration from Monomoy guard Matt Pomoka there. Look for him to rebound. He's one of the senior guards for this Monomoy team, and Coach Adam Rose looks to him as a leader.
Starter number 10, Anthony Robertson's being subbed back in for number 2, Sean Willis, who recently picked up his second foul.
Again, Roger King trying to balance the fouls early. Willis got into foul trouble, took him out for the sophomore forward Roberson.
Good sign for Monomoy that one of Carver's key players is in early foul trouble as Chris Mazzulla's travels off of the pass by, I believe it was Matt Pomoka.
Sloppy so far for both teams. A lot of fouls and turnovers. That's Mazzulis' 3rd turnover of the game as Carver heads the other way.
Number 12 takes back over the share of the handling for Carver. And he gets the ball back at the top of the key off the screen from number 1. Almost lost it there, but recovered. And there was a 3-second call. Monomoy's ball.
Another turnover for Carver. The sloppy play continues. Look for both teams to sharpen up as the game progresses.
Bobby Joy gets it in the backcourt and will use his speed and precise handling to get out of the press, which he does easily. Gets the ball back, Gets out of trouble by giving it to Pomoka. Gets the ball back at the top of the key. Chris Missoula's off of the screen down low, gives it back to Eli in the post. Seeing that he is undersized, gives it back out to the guard, which is where Monomoy will have to produce most of their offense. At the buzzer, Chris Missoula takes it to the rack and gets a foul. Very nice play and good clock recognition.
Shot clock winding down. Missoula knew he had to get it up there. Luckily, he withdrew the foul and now goes to the line shooting 2.
Monomoy is 1 for 2 from the line today. Now they are 1 for 3, shooting only 33%, which is very uncharacteristic of an Adam Rose team. Makes a second.
It's Missoula's third point of the night, but he struggled so far from the field, going only 1 of 3 from the line and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. It's been a rough night for Missoula so far, but he's widely considered one of the best shooters on the team. Look for him to improve as the night goes on.
Number 12 continues to get the ball back, but good defense by Bobby Joy as he pressures him. They do call the foul, though, but you know what? I'm not really sure if that was a good call there. For me personally, I think that was just good defense. He was just pressuring the ball handler. The refs seem to be pretty eager to blow the whistle so far tonight, as both teams have fallen into pretty early foul trouble.
Joy's an aggressive defender, and I think Adam Rose, a former guard himself, likes that about his 8th grade point guard. Aggressive on the defensive side of the ball.
Carver scores recently after Tim Davis was subbed in for Bobby Joy. Willis, one of the leading scorers, scores again for Carver. Sam Reed looks to give the ball back to Chris, who drives and draws another foul. It was on the floor, so they will get the inbound. Chris doing a nice job of drawing fouls on Carver defenders.
Triangle!
Monomoy continues to attack the basket, getting Carver into foul trouble early. This could be a recipe for success for the Sharks. Carver doesn't seem to be very deep, and getting them into foul trouble early could lead to more success for Monomoy.
You can see how much Carver likes to use rotation with their benches. 3 of their starters have been subbed in and out several times. Another foul on number 4 of Carver, only increasing the foul trouble for their starters. Only his first foul, but 7 fouls on the team already. Not a good sign for Carver.
We only have 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first quarter. Monomoy's already is in the bonus and shooting 1-on-1. This is a rough start for Carver, I'd say.
If you're Monomoy, you got to come through on these free throws and take advantage of the fact that you're winning the foul game right now. Eli Nicholson was just subbed out for David Nichols, going for a taller technique here, which is wise considering the fact that Carver has 1, 2, and 3 players that are significantly taller than the average Monomoy height. He goes 2 for 2 on that one. He is 3 for 4 in the night, keeping up his efficient free throw shooting.
Carver subs Casimir Watson back in. Adam Rose tries to counter with senior David Nichols, who's the tallest player on this Monomoy roster.
Number 12 and number 4 getting the ball back and forth before number 4 is called for a carry. A rare call by refs, even though it is done pretty often by modern day basketball players. You like to see it when they do call it.
Turnovers continue to be piled up. Carver has really gotten themselves and shot themselves in the foot so far. It's been a rough night for the Crusaders as Matt Pomoka, fancy dribbling, pulls up for 3.
Very nice shot by Matt Pomoka. You like to see him go on the isolation like that because he certainly has the talent to do so, but it's just not enough. Number 4 keeps on carrying the load of handling the ball along with number 12, who is currently out of the game. They look to set screens a lot down low and get guards open out on the wings, which is interesting because they have a height advantage. And they go right to that height advantage. Speak of the devil, and their 6'6" center, number 20, gets the basket off of the nice assist.
Nice play from the 2 upperclassmen there, recognizing the size advantage with Sean Willis and Matt Pomoka. Dishes it off to Casimir Watson. Easy basket for the Crusaders.
Tim pivots against number 11 as he takes it off the screen. Very nice take. Looks to draw a foul, and he gets it. It's a shooting foul. He will go to the line for 2. Carver's foul trouble continues early on.
Brian Roche, second personal foul, second.
That is Brian Roche's second foul in the game. Monomoy needs to convert on these free throws. Jake Wisniewski and Weaver both come in for Sam Reed and Matt Pomoka.
Wisniewski's another physical body. Again, Adam Rose going to the game plan of trying to be physical and keep these bigs uncomfortable.
He doesn't make the second one. But they do call a foul on Dave Nichols, number 4, I believe, and then over the back.
Seemed to be a lane violation there on number 11, Tim Davis.
I do believe it was a lane violation.
Sophomore guard from Monomoy.
Number 4 and 2 showing their great chemistry as they have played for a long time together. Number 2 crosses over. Nothing there, though. Great defense by the Monomoy. And they continue to go to the height, but you can see that although he may have a lot of height, 6'6" center, number 20, does not seem to have the finishing ability you would expect. Nice defense by Jake Wisniewski. Although he is undersized, he makes up with it in strength.
Trying to feed it down low to Casimir Watson seems to be a recipe for success for Carver, but they haven't had as much success as they would have liked early on as Wisniewski goes to the line shooting 2.
Jake Wisniewski, interesting story here because he was, well, at least he used to be a right-handed player, as number 1 takes it down the court really fast and gets an and-1 all over the Monomoy defense. But getting back to the conversation of Jake Wisniewski, he used to be a right-handed ball handler most of his life until he went through some, I believe it was through baseball, he had to get surgery on his right arm and completely changed his game to a left-handed player.
Great take there by Roach. Recognized that Monomoy was slow in transition, took it to the rack, and Monomoy trying to stop him, fouled him, but allowed him to complete the basket and converts the 3-point play.
Tim Davis makes a risky pass, but it's knocked out of bounds by number 1 on Crusaders, and Monomoy will get the ball back off of the inbound by David Nichols.
Roach is impressed early, been aggressive on defense, and there got his first basket of the game. 3 points so far, and he almost picked up another steal there. Nichols inbounding into Weaver, seal it. He's guarded by Roach at the top of the key and kicks it out to Mizoulis on the wing.
Bad turnover there by Mizoulis as number 20 gets the steal. Crusaders quick in transition, but almost lose the dribble themselves. It's a scramble down the court. Crusaders coach is complaining about the calls not going both ways. Fouls on number 14, Jake Wisniewski with a push. It's his second foul, 6 for the team.
15 fouls total so far. We are not even through the first quarter. This has been a very aggressive game so far. Questionable calls on both sides, and I don't think either coach is happy.
Crusaders call a timeout. It is their first timeout of the game. It is a 1-minute timeout after Casimir Watson missed his first free throw. He has been a disappointment so far in the game, only producing 2 points.
With just under a minute left in the first quarter so far, we have Carver leading by 7 points, but I can't say that it's been a very impressive quarter for each team. 15 fouls in total. Neither one of the captains for Carver has impressed. Chris Willis has made 1 basket and is 1 of 5 from the floor. Brian Roach has been the star so far for Carver, but even then he has 2 fouls and only 3 points. Casimir Watson's been quiet, not exactly taking advantage of the significant size differential that Carver holds over Monomoy, and Monomoy has taken somewhat of an advantage of Carver's foul trouble, but still aren't converting at a nearly as high of a rate from the free throw line as they would like.
We get started back up here after the Crusader timeout. Casimir Watson will take his second free throw. Crusaders are looking to sub in number 10, Anthony Robertson, off of the next break in play.
After the free throw, be sophomore forward Anthony Robertson subbing in for junior Casimir Watson, the shooter at the moment, as he goes to the line for his second free throw.
And he misses both. Common problem for big men when it comes to shooting at the line. As expected, Anthony Robertson will come in for Casimir after he misses both free throws. This could be a turning point for Monomoy, as this is the first time they've had their big center come out of the game. They inbound it quickly, and they get a foul right away. Number 11 going to the line off of the foul by Weaver.
It was a great inbounds play there by Carver, trying to get the ball down to Jason Baker early. And right at the post, it was a great pass. He had a good look, but a foul by Weaver Sealand prevented him from converting.
And he makes the first one. Carver and Monomoy both been fairly inconsistent at the line so far. Monomoy obviously having more chances, but both teams seem to be getting into pretty early foul trouble.
Get after it!
Jason Baker goes 1 for 2 at the line. Eli tips it out to Tim Davis, who will take the ball up against number 4. He crosses over. He picks up the ball early, which wasn't a smart decision, so he gets it right back from Eli. Eli sets a screen for Sam Reed, who gets the ball on the perimeter and looks for Eli again, but he's not there.
Carver did an excellent job there of recognizing the play. Eli Nickerson was unable to get open at the top of the key. Weaver Sealand, though, did a job getting his own offensive rebound, but can't put it back.
Number 2 will bring the ball up again, and he quickly gives it over to number 1, who will take it off the drive. Beautiful offense there by the Crusaders as they bring the ball down low, draw on the defense, and kick it out to the open man. If you're a Monomoy defender, you can't crash like that, especially with all these perimeter shooters. Tim Davis takes the deep 3 at the end of the corner, but it doesn't go. The score remains 17-6. Carver with a significant lead at the end of the quarter, 11-point lead despite having the early foul trouble.
Well, Monomoy's been unable to convert in their opportunities. Going to the free throw line, Chris Mazulis is actually 3 of 4, so he's been really the only one converting. Wisniewski missed his only free throw. Sophomore guard Tim Davis 0 for 2, and senior guard Matt Pomoka only shooting 50% from the line. Monomoy's gotten enough fouls going their way that they really need to start converting if they want to get back in this game, trailing by 11 at the end of the first quarter. Disappointing first quarter for Monomoy. Carver really not playing to their potential, and Monomoy did not take advantage of it.
It's been interesting technique so far for Carver, as you would expect them to go to their taller players, but they've gotten a lot of production out of their guards, Jared Chadwick, Sean Willis, and of course his brother Chris Willis. Not necessarily undersized, but you wouldn't think that they would play to the even strength of Monomoy. So far it's been ideal for Monomoy as far as the playing field goes. They just haven't been able to convert off of that. Both teams huddle up, and the period in between the quarters ends as we will start the second quarter.
Going forward, it'll be interesting to see how Carver handles their foul trouble and whether or not they involve a big like Casimir Watson more, or whether or not they continue to go to their wings and guards, the Willis brothers and junior guard Brian Roach, who have really been the stars of the game so far for Carver.
Lineup for Monomoy includes Weaver, Tim, Eli, David, and Sam Reed filling out the big man spot. Eli Nickerson swings it over to Weaver, who will take the corner shot. Air ball, got absolutely nothing under it that he would have liked. Crusaders take the ball out quickly and, of course, continue to play through their guards as number 12 takes a corner 3. And that is yet another big basket from Jared Chadwick, who's been playing to the highest of his abilities so far. The Carver press continues, and for the first time tonight, perhaps, the Carver Crusaders have successfully pressed the Monomoy into turning over the ball in the backcourt.
Carver bringing the pressure early in the full court press. Adam Rose goes back to his what he called his pure point guard, and Bobby Joy, the 8th grader from Monomoy. We'll see if he can regain the composure for the Sharks.
Tim Davis and Eli Nickerson playing good perimeter defense as they limit number 4 off of the screen. But he takes it right to the rack and gets nothing on his floater. Sam Reed gives it up to Eli. Good transition offense, but he doesn't get the right amount of speed under the pass to Eli Nickerson as he can't run onto it. A nice idea there by Tim Davis, but just not the right execution.
Ball has rolled all the way out of the gym. A little bit of confusion here amongst the officials and the players. But we are back in action as the brothers inbound at Sean Willis to Chris Willis with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second quarter.
They get it down low to their big man, number 20. Quickly gives it around to the other big man who gets it down low, and they can't convert. But of course, another offensive rebound for the Crusaders. If Monomoy doesn't box out, this could go on all game.
Monomoy once again failing to get the rebounds. We'll see if Anthony Roberson, the sophomore forward, will convert at the line. He is shooting 2 after the foul on
Sam
number
Reed.
20, Sam Reed.
And Anthony Roberson sinks the first free throw. And Matt Pomoka subs in for Tim Davis. Perhaps the most two talented guards from Monomoy, Matt Pomoka and Bobby Joy, both on the court right now as they will look to pick up the tempo here. Anthony Roberson goes 2 for 2 on his free throws. The Crusaders have picked up their field goal percentage now later in the game. Weaver off the nice catch, goes, drives, gets the foul, doesn't get it in, but that's all good. You would have expected him to get blocked there by the taller defender, but he contorts his body to pick up the foul. Nice play.
That'll be Weaver Seelan going to the line, shooting 2. That's the first foul on Watson, and that's one thing Monomoy's got to do is so when Watson's in the game, obviously there is a size advantage. They have to attack down low, get Watson into foul trouble. He is the tallest player on Carver, and he is the one thing that Monomoy doesn't have that Carver does is a
Weaver misses the
6'6"
second free throw, but goes after his own rebound. And again shows his great hustle on the glass. Talk about following your own shot. The ball does go out of bounds off of Monomoy, though. You like to see the hustle.
Seelan's very athletic, and especially Eli Nickerson, the sophomore guard from Monomoy, used his own athleticism to get past Casimir Watson and allow the ball to be tipped to Seelan.
Monomoy begins to show their own press, but the Crusaders easily break it as number 10, Anthony Roberson, gets underneath the rim and takes the easy layup. 24-7 now as Monomoy seems to be in trouble early on.
Monomoy really having trouble breaking this press from Carver, although they get bailed out once again with another foul. That is Sean Willis' third foul of the night. That's the 10th foul for Carver. And we only have 6 minutes and 34 seconds left in the second quarter. Very early in the game, they'll be racking up this many fouls, and it'll definitely be a problem going forward for Carver.
Both teams in the bonus, as Bobby Joy will get 2 free throws at the line. Not a 1-and-1 situation. Well, he loses in his height despite being an 8th grader. He makes up with his ball handling and his efficient shooting, as he will most likely put the second one away and hopefully make it 24-9. As expected, the young guard goes 2 for 2 at the line. Number 4, Chris Willis, gives it over to Jared Chadwick as they continue to play through their main senior ball handlers. Off the screen, he takes the 3. Confident shot there, but not a good one as Bob Joy gives it to Eli Nickerson, who has the vision to make the nice pass to Matt Pomoka, but not necessarily the execution. Another turnover for the Monomoy Sharks.
So far, I've been very impressed with the play of 8th grader Bobby Joy. He's only an 8th grader, but he leads by example. Very calm, very collected out there, does what he needs to do to get the job done. He's been the star of the night so far for Monomoy.
Yes, definitely a bright spot in what has been a poor performance. If they do not box out, this offensive rebounding will continue out of their 2 larger players, Anthony Roberson and Casimir Watson, who continue to dominate the offensive glass. Sam Reed showing some signs of offensive rebounding as he gets it back out to the guards. Matt Pomoka takes his floater, which is his go-to shot most of the time, but he loses it out of bounds. It was a strip by Chris Willis, and it is Monomoy's inbound.
So far, the shots are not falling for the Sharks. They need to find a different way of attacking this Carver defense. Take it inside. Get Watson into foul trouble. The shots aren't falling. They need to find some other way to score.
Matt Pomoka having an awful night from the field as he is really not helping out his team so far.
Second personal foul. That's the 10th for the game.
Second foul on Matt Pomoka. Number 4, Chris Willis will take both shots at the line. Carver looks to sub in number 11, Jason Baker, after the free throw. and they will take out number 10, Anthony Robertson, who has been a big presence on the glass. Hopefully this will give Monomoy a chance to get back into the rebounding game.
Both teams in the bonus so far, both teams reaching 10 fouls as Willis misses his second free throw.
Nice rebound by Chris Mazulis as he takes it up himself, and there is a foul called on number 4, Chris Willis. Another foul for Carver. That's his second personal foul, 12th on the team, and we are only in the first half. Refs seem to be very eager to blow the whistle. You could say both teams are playing sloppy, but I think part of it is just the refs not letting the players play.
After struggling early from the line, Missoula seems to have found his stroke. He's made his last 4 free throws. Definitely a key to watch for Monomoy going forward.
Chris makes his first free throw. A very efficient free throw shooter, as I noted earlier, and he goes 2 for 2. A 16-point lead here for Carver. You could say that Monomoy has been picking up the pace lately with their scoring, but every time Monomoy scores, Carver seems to have an answer, as Casimir Watson again gets another basket down low, abusing with his height.
Great play there by Jared Chadwick. Drew the defense. Sam Reed and Eli Nickerson collapsed, dumped it off to his center, and Watson. Easy basket for the Crusaders.
Good deflection on the Crusaders' part. That was by number 30, Kyle Barrett. Very good perimeter defense, limiting what Monomoy can do to set up their plays. Sam Reed inbounds it to Chris Mazulis. He gives it down low to Eli Nickerson, who finds Matt Pomoka to sink a 3 outside on the perimeter. It's good to see Matt Pomoka finally showing his true colors in the game as he hits a 3, which he can do often when he's playing at his best. Number 12, Jared Chadwick brings it up again for the Crusaders. And Matt Pomoka playing pressing defense on the perimeter.
Pomoka, a very high-energy player. Scrappy, he's gritty, he gets the job done. He needs to find his shot if Monomoy wants to get back in this game, as Chadwick knocks down the 3.
It's tough to see what that Monomoy has to do there, because as soon as Kashmir got the ball down low, they doubled, which is what you would like to see, but then he found the open man on the perimeter. Nice take by Chris Mazulis right down the middle as he floats it over the taller defenders.
Mazulis is another key player from Monomoy. They haven't been shooting well. Mazulis has a good stroke if he can get it done. Be more aggressive. Take it to the rack.
Very nice steal by Eli Nickerson, and you like to see the hustle of Chris Mazulis diving on the ball. It's ruled a jump ball, and it will be white ball. Monomoy Sharks will take the inbound. Very nice defense there by the combination of Eli Nickerson and Chris Mazulis.
Motion!
Correction, that is Crusaders ball, as they will inbound it from the side into the backcourt. Bobby Joy looks to settle into defensive position. Lots of movement down low, and they use the pick and roll as expected, but before Kashmir can do anything, Monomoy strips the ball away, and they try to get it right back, but a reach is called on number 12, Jared Chadwick, and because they are in the bonus, Chris Mazulis will go to the line for 2.
That's the first foul for Chadwick as Mazulis goes to the line shooting 2. Seemed like he was a little bit out of control there, but he's bailed out with the foul from Chadwick. Overall, let's see if he knocks these down.
Staying consistent at the line is Chris Mazulis.
That is huge for Monomoy if Mazulis has found his stroke. He can be a real key for this team going forward.
Misses his second, but stays efficient and gets Monomoy up to 17. The Crusaders coach seems to be a little elated lately as he thinks that Carver should not be in the foul trouble they are. Bobby Joy, despite the height disadvantage, grabs the rebound off of the miss from number 11, and Matt Pomoka yet again has an empty trip from the field.
Not a smart shot there by Pomoka.
And they get another offensive rebound.
Once again, Carver settling down into their half-court offense, trying to involve the center, Casimir Watson, with a nice dish down low, but Kai Barrett unable to finish.
Matt Pomoka will bring it up after Eli's rebound. Bobby Joy gives it back out to Matt Pamoka, who takes another shot, but unlike before, cannot convert from behind the arc. Going to some of their constructed plays right now is Carver, but it doesn't seem to be working early on. And it is out of bounds. Carver's ball off of some good defense by number 13, Eli Nickerson. Lots of screens being set, but perhaps not the right playing by the guards of running off those screens, which is why they haven't been so effective for Carver. Good defense there by Sam Reed, standing tall without fouling the big center. Another
Carver looking
sloppy
for fouls,
pass.
not getting them from these refs though.
A jumping pass there downloaded her center. The crowd seems to be getting into the game and is doing a nice job of getting into the heads of some of the Crusaders players. Another foul called. These refs very eager to blow the whistle, and number 12, Jared Chadwick, will go to the line.
It's the first foul on Missoula. Monomoy really struggling on the offensive boards. We said before that one of the keys to this game would be how each team rebounds. Obviously, Carver with the well-documented size advantage, but yet they haven't managed to do it on the offensive side of the ball. But they're getting rebounds, and it's not just Watson. The wings are getting boards. Monomoy's really got to step up the intensity on boards, on the glass, if they want to get back in this game. They trail now by 16 points, and it's not close on the boards.
Silencing the crowd, 5'7" guard Jared Chadwick converts both from the line and increases the Crusaders' lead as they get up to 34 with about a minute 30 left in the half.
Chadwick with 13 points already with only a minute 30 left in the second quarter. That's a great start for him, as he's not one of the most well-known blue-chip players on this Carver Crusaders team.
Matt Pamoka again struggling from the line, but the Crusaders quickly get the ball back and move up court in their fast-paced offense before getting fouled yet again.
Third personal foul.
Third foul on Matt Pamoka, and they will look to sub him out with only about a minute and a half left in the half. Sinking the first one is Chris Willis. Sam Reed and Matt Pamoka all come out of the game. Missing the second free throw. Good hustle by Eli Nickerson on the glass, but it's not enough. And the offensive rebounding continues for Carver, but you can see they're struggling to finish off of those rebounds.
No presence on the offensive board. That's been a major issue for the Sharks so far.
An acrobatic layup there by number 4, Chris Willis, but he can't convert it. Bobby Joy comes up and puts up an acrobatic layup for himself. And
Bobby Joy. You know, that was a heck of a move by Willis down at the other end, but the 8th grader showing him how to finish. What a play by Bobby Joy.
You like to see the athleticism out of the young player. Number 4 gets the ball back and perhaps looks to respond to Bobby Joy's acrobatic finish. Number 11 taking a jump shot. Not the most efficient shooter on the Carver team. And the ball is batted around before it goes out of bounds off of the Carver player. Monomoy will take the inbound.
And let me tell you, I cannot say enough so far about Bobby Joy. You know, Coach Rose can't say enough either. He's blown away by the maturity. He's given them everything they've asked for. He's played excellent so far in this first half.
You can see the presence of mind at such a young age. Dave Nichols tries to go in the post, but despite the height and the nice sky hook, it won't fall.
You can see already, though, even though he didn't convert there on the shot, David Nichols' size, just being the presence of a 6'4" figure there in the interior of that paint, definitely an addition so far from Monomoy.
Another foul called on Crusaders as the coach is not happy with the refs so far this game, but then again, what coach is? Huge block by number 11 on Carver as Eli Nickerson tries a corner 3 but can't get it up fast enough. And a foul is called right away.
Good inbound play there by Monomoy, but Eli Nickerson, give him the pump fake. You see the guy coming at you. It was a great play by Jason Baker, recognizing the shot going up. But if Nickerson fails or gives the head fake there, you send Baker flying into the next row, and you have an open shot.
Another foul on Eli Nickerson. And 13 fouls, 13 on that one, but Casey Fernandez can't convert the first free throw. They'll try again here. Eli Nickerson and Dave Nichols down on the low blocks from Monomoy. Makes the second, and Carver returns to their press with only 4 seconds left in the half. Throws up the half-court shot. The player is no good, and the half ends. 36-19 Carver, both teams in the bonus.
Well, we can't say it enough. Carver has a huge size advantage here, obviously led by Casimir Watson, the 6'6" center, but I can't really say it's been an impressive half for either team. Obviously Carver with the 17-point lead here at the midpoint of this game, but they've struggled so far, both teams with turnovers and personal fouls. It's been definitely a closely called game. Both teams in foul trouble right now, 10 for each team so far, but both teams have to limit this going forward. Monomoy has failed, even though they have all these personal fouls on Carver, has failed to attack the bigs like Watson and like Steve Hayward, and the big guys like Jason Baker and Brian Roach on the wing. These are the size guys for Carver, the size guys that Monomoy doesn't have. If they want to get them out of this game, they have to attack and get them into foul trouble. That's something that Monomoy hasn't done so far.
And it would be nice to see Monomoy return to the technique they were using early on in the first quarter. Although they were never really leading, they were getting the bigs of Carver into early foul trouble and getting to the line, whether they were converting them or not. It made Carter have to make substitutions and rotate in some of their bench players that didn't have the same height factor.
What I would look forward going for the next 2 quarters is whether or not Adam Rose plays senior forward David Nichols a bit more. He's struggled on the offensive side of the court so far, but just his 6'4" presence, he isn't built like a guy like Casimir Watson. He doesn't have that much size, but just the 6'4" height that he brings to the table. You could see just when he was on the floor, his presence was felt. Carver seemed to have a little bit more trouble getting it inside and getting easy layups. If you put him on a guy like Watson or Brian Roach, I could see Monomoy definitely getting back into this game, especially if their shots start falling in the third and fourth quarters.
And another player I would love to see Monomoy give heavy minutes to in the second half is Sam Reed. He's not the tallest of them, but you can see how he's physically built. He's strong enough to deal with the big men like Anthony Robertson or Casimir Watson, but at the same time, he's quick enough to run up and down court. He can move in transition, and he can block shots. I like the strength from Sam Reed.
Reed is a conventional power forward. He isn't, like you mentioned, the tallest guy on the court, but he brings a very physical game style to him. That's just the way he plays. He's a bruiser. He's great on the boards, and that's definitely something Monomoy needs. Having played against him in the past, I know just how physical Sam Reed can be. He loves boxing people out. He loves fighting for rebounds. That's the attitude that Monomoy needs to bring to the second half if they want to cut into this 17-point deficit.
And obviously being a rebuilding year for Monomoy so far, as they have struggled to even get a win. But it's nice to see flashes of the future from some of their younger players, like sophomores Tim Davis, Jake Wisniewski, and Eli Nickerson. And of course, the 8th grade prodigy, Bobby Joy, who's not only converted big minutes, but big starter minutes for the Sharks. And if you look at their JV team, who's had a great record so far, who just recently beat Carver, I think they're right around 3-2 on the year. Very big wins from them, and you can see that a lot of their players will be playing on the varsity team down the road and maybe make a run at teams like Carver that are losing some of their seniors that are lighting up the scoreboard right now, like Casimir Watson.
Last year, Monomoy was very guard heavy. They were led by seniors, Noah Nickerson, David Allen, Logan D'Souza, a very strong backcourt for the Sharks last year. After they left through graduation, the question was, how are they going to replace them? What is the backcourt going to look like for Monomoy going forward? Bobby Joy has answered the call of duty right now. Although he's only got 4 points, he has yet to miss a shot. He has been very careful with the ball. Like Coach Adam Rose mentioned, he's a very mature point guard, very efficient. He loves controlling the ball. He's very good on pass, great vision, doesn't turn the ball over, very mature, and he's given Monomoy everything they could have possibly asked for. From an 8th grade point guard, he will be the star of Monomoy basketball going forward over the next actually 5 years, considering he's only in 8th grade. That's not even a high schooler in most schools. He's playing as an 8th grader, a middle schooler. Very impressed with the play of Joy so far.
And some big acquisitions in the offseason, although they don't necessarily have a free agency period like the NBA. But they got guard Chris Mazzulas from Nauset because he wasn't happy with his playing time. And of course, he's filled a role beautifully here for Monomoy. And he has been one of the not only starters but larger scorers for Monomoy so far this year.
When looking at this Carver Crusaders team, however, the first thing that stands out is just the pure size. But however, if you look at the roster, the 2 captains, the Willis brothers, Sean Willis, Chris Willis, senior guard Sean, junior guard Chris. Chris has been the more active player so far. He's missed a lot of shots down the stretch, but he's got 5 points on the night, and the defensive intensity that both teams bring can't be matched by Monomoy, which has substituted a lot of players in and out. They have yet to establish a consistent pattern, and it's been a problem for Monomoy so far. I'd look to see both Willis brothers get a little bit more involved if they can limit the foul trouble that they've run into in the first half. However, one player I want to mention for sure is Jared Chadwick, the senior guard. He's the shortest player on Carver's roster, something you don't necessarily look for when you're looking at a team with the size of Carver. He stands at only 5'7", but he's got an incredible amount of points on the night. He's only missed 1 shot, and that was a deep 3. He's got 3, 6, 9, 11, 13 points on the night. He's on track for 26. That's leading all scorers so far. And again, the efficiency, only missing 1 shot, only committing 1 foul. He's not bad, and he didn't even start. I'm very impressed with Chadwick so far.
And going back to Jared Chadwick, even when standing next to 8th grader Bobby Joy, he is undersized. That's remarkable. So when you're going into the game, you might not expect a lot from him, but his perimeter shooting, and he's almost like a tank when he's driving to the rim. He stays low to the ground, keeps his head up, and can finish through players that have inches upon inches of height advantage on him.
He doesn't let the other player's size intimidate him, and that's key for Chadwick in the second half of this game. He's very aggressive in taking it to the rack. He's only been to the line once. He converted on both free throws, but he's been Monomoy's most effective player.
We'll be back at the start of the half, about 4.5 minutes left. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll return for the second half of action.
I take it.
Welcome back as the second half is starting up in just about 30 seconds. Both teams huddling up as they give a clap to their players, both getting into the huddle as they finish up their pre-half shooting.
I overheard Carver coach Roger King talk about his senior captain, forward Sean Willis, who's actually the second leading scorer in the South Shore League, yet has been held scoreless so far in the first half. Some of that has to do with foul trouble, some of that has to do with only taking one shot and missing an early basket from the side. It's been a rough night so far for Willis, but you know, with a player with his experience and his composure, a captain, a guy that King trusts, yeah, I'd look for him to definitely get a little bit more active in the offense and convert a bit more as the second half goes on.
Sean Willis, of course, the taller of the two brothers at 5'11", plays a lot of small forward and even some power forward for the tall Crusaders team, where on a team like Monomoy, you could see him play power forward or even center, considering how undersized they are. Bobby Joy will take it up.
Interesting point here. David Nichols, who didn't start in the first half, coming in to start the second half, going to that 6'4" frame in Nichols, something that Monomoy has lacked so far is definitely size.
David Nichols off the screen, gets it at the top of the key, and he gives it to Chris Mazulis, who takes a three-pointer and sinks it. Obviously a great shooting guard for Monomoy.
One of the best guards for Monomoy for sure. One of the best shooters, and without a doubt. Look for him to definitely be more aggressive with the ball and take more shots as for the second half. Try and get Monomoy's offense going.
Huge turnover by Crusaders, and Dave Nichols got the steal before they get the ball back up court and set up their offense. Bobby Joy looks to Eli first, but sees that the low post isn't there. Gives it back to David Nichols, takes a three a little bit beyond his range, and misses it before it goes out of bounds.
I like the fact that they're getting David Nichols a little bit more involved in the offense. No one can understate the height that he brings to this Sharks team. On offense and defense, he's something that they don't have a lot of, and he's really their best answer for it.
Another foul on Eli Nickerson, and Anthony Robertson will now go to the line for Carver. That's the third foul on Eli, and we just started the second half. Although he's not a huge minute player, he is a starter and a pretty important player for the Monomoy Sharks down the stretch. They're going to need him later in the fourth. And the ball rolls around for a little while before finally dropping in for Anthony Robertson. Bobby Joy breaks the hard press by Carver. Eli Nickerson takes it up against a taller defender and contorts his body to pick up the foul without the block.
That's definitely the first instance I've seen so far of Monomoy getting the ball down the court quickly in transition. Excellent job by the Sharks getting it ahead to Eli Nickerson. Great pass by Bobby Joy, recognizing that Carver was a little slow to get back, and now Nickerson at the line shooting two.
After drawing or committing a lot of fouls himself, it's nice to see Eli Nickerson finally draw one on the Carver team. A good free throw shooter for the Sharks. Hopefully he can make the second one and put the Sharks at 23. And he does. Only a 15-point game now, and that looks like a bad lead, but comparing to what it was before the end of the half, it's good to see the Sharks coming into form. And another turnover by the Crusaders. They try to get it down low to Kashmir Watson. It doesn't work out for them, and they find Eli in the corner.
Oh, bad pass there by Nickerson.
Number 2, Sean Willis brings it up court, and yet again continuing his rough night of shooting. Sam Reed fakes it through, he gives it to Bobby, who will take it and completely airball it. A nice shooter, but you can see how maybe the pressure is getting to him a little bit.
That's the first missed shot of the night, though, by Joy. I'm not really that upset with it. It was a good look. He was open. He can knock down those shots. We've seen him do it before. Look for him to take more shots as the third quarter goes on.
Clear travel there by Sean Willis as he tried to Euro step and then pass out of it. Completely illegal. Good call by the ref, and Sean Willis turns it over again. Having a lot of struggles tonight for Carver. If they're going to increase this lead or keep Monomoy from coming back, they're going to need him to step up his performance. Another foul on Carver. This one was on Jared Chadwick. They press again. Bobby gives it to Weaver, who breaks the press. Before turning it over, Chris Willis gives it over to his brother, Sean Willis, who has the nice finish at the end of the break.
Those are his first points of the night for the second leading scorer in the league. That's the beginning of a questionable night there for Willis.
Weaver travels, turnover for turnover. Both of these teams having a hard time keeping control of the ball and sticking to the fundamentals.
Monomoy's got to take care of the ball, be efficient, don't commit stupid turnovers, stupid fouls. I know it's a tough task to come back from being down 17 points, but it's possible if they do that and their shots start falling.
Because Carver has certainly had their own amount of mistakes, so it's not like Monomoy hasn't had the chance, they just need to convert. A difficult floater there by Jared Chadwick. I think he was looking for more of a foul, not a high percentage shot. And Monomoy takes out as Bobby almost loses it off of the behind-the-back crossover. Bobby Joy gives it to David Nichols on the wing, the exact same spot where he took the three earlier on. Sam Reed spots up for a three-pointer, but he can't convert it either. I really don't like how Monomoy has been turning to their big men for the three-point shots, and another one by David Nichols, but this one falls. Interesting here, as they have the big men out in the wings taking threes. Most of the time it hasn't worked, but that time it does for David Nichols. He is 1 of 2 from behind the arc.
That could be a huge key for Monomoy if David Nichols starts contributing on the offensive side of the court. Again, 6'4", their tallest player, and Casimir Watson with another missed shot. The physicality of Sam Reed starting to get to him.
Exactly what we were hoping for. That time, Chris Mazulis, who you would like to see take a lot of threes, misses it. But I'm not mad with that shot. That's high quality. And then number 4, Chris Willis takes it right up court and floats it over. Bobby Joy showing his speed, picks up the foul before making the free throw, but it was on the floor, so it will be an inbound. The foul was on Chris Willis.
Chris Willis has his third for the team.
It's the third foul so far in the second half for the Carver Crusaders. It's Bobby Joy again with the ball fake over to Mazulis. Takes it to the rack, misses the floater though. Nichols trying to tip it to his teammate, and it'll be Crusaders ball.
Brian Rush back in the ball game along with Anthony Robinson.
Casimir Watson just subbed out of the game off of the recent air ball out of the post shot, seeing the great physicality out of Sam Reed, which is what we wanted to see in the second half. You can already see his presence being felt. Two brothers exchanging balls over on the right side of the court. Another travel called on Carver. A frustrating call for a team to take. The coach and the players seem to be not only frustrated with themselves, but frustrated with the refs' eagerness to blow the whistle early on.
It was just a frustrating possession for the Crusaders. Great ball movement to start, but once they started playing one-on-one, they turned the ball over. They got to go back to that ball movement. They'll get open shots in the post and on the wing.
Risky pass by Tim Davis. He's had a lot of those tonight, so he needs to be more patient in finding open players on the Monomoy team. Before there's another travel call. These refs love to call travels, and you could say that both teams are playing sloppy, but me personally, I think it's just the use of the pivot foot that this ref doesn't like in general.
That's Brian Roach missing the open shot. He started out hot in the first quarter, but was held scoreless in the second.
A shot inside the paint. High quality shot there. You'd like to see Monomoy get some of those opportunities as Jason Baker makes the easy jump shot from less than 5 feet away. Big upcourt pass, very risky. Dave Nichols trying to pass to his other big man, Sam Reed. Luckily, it was not a turnover, and Monomoy will get the inbound.
55, back shot.
That's a risky pass there from Nichols. He's got to look for something closer. Monomoy's been having trouble with turnovers all night. That is just almost was another one. That's a risky pass. Can't afford to make those. They won't be converted at a high rate in the future.
Jake Wisniewski just recently subbed in for Sam Reed, who's certainly been putting in work here so far in the second half. Jake sets the screen for Tim Davis, but can't handle the pass off of the screen.
Had an open look there, unable to handle it, as Sean Willis, the senior captain, drives to the basket and converts. He's already got 4 points in the third quarter after being held scoreless in the first half.
Timeout called as both teams go to the huddle. It's a 1-minute timeout. 20-point lead here for Carver. Monomoy got it down to 15 at one point before Carver busted it back open again, having complete control of the glass. Even when not necessarily dominating the offensive rebounding, you can just see that they're hustling more and more up and down the court.
Well, the early story so far, I'd say, for the second half has to be the improved play of senior captain forward Sean Willis of the Carver Crusaders. Roger King can't be disappointed with the captain after missing his first shot of the second half. He's converted on his last 2, 4 points so far. He's the leading scorer for the Crusaders in the second half, and he's allowed Carver to extend their lead from 17 at the half to now 20 with just under 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
The second tallest player for Carver, 6'4" forward Steve Hayward, hasn't gotten a lot of minutes, which is something you wouldn't expect to see from a team that can really abuse their height.
Let's build on this. Let's build on it.
Carver looking to build on their recent run. They've held Monomoy scoreless over the last minute or so. Carver seems to really be in control in this third quarter. They've basically been handling the transition and press game at will. It's been all Carver so far in the third quarter.
Carver looks to sub in number 1, Brian Roach. And the lineup for the Sharks to come out of the timeout is Bobby Joy, Tim Davis, and Chris Mazzulas, and then at the 2 forward positions, Dave Nichols and Jake Wisniewski. Bobby Joy gives it over to the other guard, Tim Davis. And he gets it back for a 3. He has good range, couldn't get it that time. And Brian Roach got the rebound for Carver.
Monomoy just not shooting the ball well so far. That allows Carver to take advantage of their height and extend their rebound edge, get the ball out in transition. Great job by senior guard Sean Willis and junior guard Chris Willis in transition, dishing it off to an open man. Now we have Jason Baker going to the line, shooting 2, converts on the first and his second coming up shortly as senior guard Matt Pomoka subs in for junior forward Chris Mazzulas for Monomoy.
That is the second time you have seen Jason Baker take a jump shot from well within 6 or 7 feet, but he uses his height to rise up over the defenders, and even if he doesn't make it, he can usually get a good slap on the arm and get to the line. It's been effective for him so far. Bobby Jordan converts the runner off of David Nichols' assist. Where he can't convert in the paint because of his height, he floats it over the defender. Very good technique, and it almost always converts for him as it's one of his more
effective shots. What a great look there by senior forward David Nichols to bounce pass through the defenders, right to Joy, allowed the floater to go.
Another miss by senior for Carver. Bobby Joy crosses over, bobs and weaves, and they tee up. Carver gets teed up again for their attitude and playing after the whistle.
Double technical there. One on number 4, Dave Nichols, the senior forward for Monomoy, and number 10, sophomore forward Anthony Roberson for Carver.
Tim Davis pump fakes a 3 this time before giving it to Dave Nichols, who will take it and will not make it. Sean Willis brings it up court. Was it a charge? No.
Pomoka seemed to be moving there, didn't draw the charge. Instead, it'll be a blocking foul, allowing senior guard Sean Willis to go to the line, shooting 2.
You like to see the recognition by Matt Pomoka to see the guard coming up court fast with a full head of steam and setting his feet in time. Maybe just not in time enough. Sean Willis goes 0 for 2 on the first free throw and keeps up what's been a fairly disappointing performance so far, even though he has picked up the pace in the second half, as Eli Nickerson goes in for Matt Pomoka, who just recently picked up another foul.
That's his 4th of the game. As you can see, Coach Adam Rose not going to allow him to pick up his 5th and foul out only in the third quarter. He takes him to the bench in favor of sophomore forward Eli Nickerson, as Willis knocks down the second.
31.
Shooting his third and final free throw, as Carver now has a 21-point lead with only a minute left in the third quarter. It's not looking good for Monomoy, and they give up another offensive rebound. You can just see the hustle by the Carver team.
That's a great point. You know, Carver definitely has the size advantage here, as we've said before, but they just also seem to be out-hustling Monomoy for the same
But with the lineups on the court right now, Monomoy actually has the tallest player out there in David Nichols. Kashmir Watson not even in the game right now, so there's really no excuse for this abomination on the glass.
Deep 3 from Nichols, no
Like
good. He's got to find better looks than that.
And Tim Davis before they get it out quickly to Anthony Robertson. He misses the easy layup on the break, but they recover again on the glass. Sean Willis with the offensive rebound. The coach is elated and not happy with the calls here so far. Thinks that there should have been a foul called when Anthony Robertson missed the easy layup on the fast break. It worked out for them in the end after Sean Willis collected the rebound and went up with it himself.
Neither coach seems to be happy so far, and there's a technical foul called on Monomoy coach Adam Rose. Rough game so far for both teams. A lot of fouls called on the bench too. It's technicals all over the place. That's 1 on Monomoy. There's 1 on Monomoy forward David Nichols and 2 on Carver so far. So 4 technicals in the game in total. It's been a very aggressive, very physical game so far. Very sloppy, a lot of turnovers. It's been an interesting game to watch. I don't think either team has really capitalized on either team, and it'll be Carver's captain Sean Willis shooting the 2 free throws and for the Crusaders after the technical on Rose.
There seems to be a discussion over which of the 2 Willis brothers should take the free throws. Probably both very talented free throw shooters, but a little bit of a dispute there before the first one is easily sunk, and the second one as well by Chris Willis.
It'll be interesting to see how that family relationship goes after that. The coach electing for the junior instead of the senior, as Chris Willis again knocks down both free throws to extend the Carver lead to 25.
Yeah, a little bit of reverse seniority there. And again, the younger of the 2 brothers will bring up the ball before getting it down low to one of the more undersized forwards, but still at 5'11", his brother, Sean Willis, who, as we mentioned earlier, been picking up the pace.
Great recognition there by Carver, understanding that Sean Willis has a clear size advantage on the 8th grader Bobby Joy. Took him down to the block, something they should have done a long time ago, as Carver misses their last second attempt at the end of the third.
And at the end of the third quarter, you saw Eli Nickerson convert off of a low post shot. I really liked the way he did that. He got the ball down low, lost the defender, took 1 dribble, and then went up with it. I think a big problem for Monomoy is even if they are getting offensive rebounds, when they're getting the ball down low, they're taking too much time, letting the defense recover, and then when they go up for the shot, the tall players on the Carver roster are there to defend them. You like to see more of what Eli Nickerson just did for the Monomoy Sharks.
Very simple from Nickerson. I agree with you there. Great play. Understood that if you spend too much time down low and you take too much time or take too long to go up with it, the window closes. You lose your opportunity to score. points are at a premium so far in this game for Monomoy, only with 30 at the end of the third quarter. That's got to be disappointing for the Sharks. Nickerson understood that. He understands the window is closing. The defense will be collapsing shortly. And one dribble up with it, 2 points for the Sharks. Great play by Nickerson.
As the fourth quarter starts, I'd like to bring up that Eli Nickerson is, of course, the younger of the brothers to his older brother, Dalton Nickerson, who just recently graduated last year. He was a senior captain on the Monomoy basketball team last year and was a key big man for them, even with his injury early on in the year. You'd like to see Eli become a lot like his brother, even if he is more undersized. Only good things to come for the Nickerson family. They continue to try to get the ball to Watson, who, even though has a huge height advantage, can't convert on the strong Jake Wisniewski. Very good defense by Jake Wisniewski, not only forcing the miss, but then sealing off Kashmir Watson and converting the turnover as well, not letting him getting into the game. Dave Nichols spots up and takes a three at the top of the corner. I have been corrected here tonight, as I thought maybe it wasn't a good sign for their big men to be taking threes, but Dave Nichols is shooting 2 for 4, 50% behind the arc. That's one of the more efficient shooting behind the arc so far for the Sharks.
Even if it's not in this game, that's got to be something that Coach Rose is impressed with. David Nichols really coming off the bench and playing well so far for the Sharks. Like you mentioned, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. That's 6 points. That's a great performance so far by Nichols, and providing them with the height and the outside shooting that they've really desperately needed so far in this game.
Sean Willis making up for not going to the line earlier off of the technical foul as he draws the foul off of Tim Davis. It is his second foul of the game. He makes the first one and spots up for the second with David Nichols and Jake Wisniewski waiting in the low post for the rebound. Carver returning to the press as usual, but Bobby Joy using his great speed and ball handling to break it just about every time. Tim Davis with a nice take off of Bobby Joy's assist, who found the open man. Tim Davis saw the line, went too quickly before the big man could get there, and took the easy layup.
Bobby Joy doing a great job of controlling this offense, not turning the ball over, finding the open man, and allowing the guard like Tim Davis to convert. Eli Nickerson in and out, rebound there by Brian Roach, and Carver takes it the other way.
On the last defensive possession, Jake Wisniewski came up big again for the Sharks defensively, sealing off the post and not letting Kashmir Watson get the ball and abuse with his height. He stole the ball before the ball can get there. That's the second time he's done that, and he'd only like to see more. A foul called on Jared Chadwick before Bobby Joy can get very far up court.
That's the third foul on Chadwick. Really one of the few players for Carver not to get into foul trouble early, but he picks up his third here with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
David Nichols again with the ball out on the perimeter. Eli Nickerson setting a screen for him like he's a guard, and then he takes it right down the middle and draws the foul. Increased production from David Nichols has been the story so far in the second half for the Sharks.
Absolutely, Ben, you're completely right. David Nichols taking it to the rack. I like to see it. He shows that he doesn't not only does he have the outside jump shot, but he's able to take it inside, and he knocks down the first free throw. If Nichols can continue to play like this, it won't be long before Monomoy picks up their first win of the season.
A 21-point lead now for the Crusaders. He can make it a 20-point game, but he doesn't convert. Sean Lewis bringing up the ball. Even though he does play a lot of forward, he can also show flashes of good ball handling before he gives it to their primary point, Jared Chadwick. Risky pass there, but Sean Lewis has a nice move to the basket. Can't convert it off of the good defense by the low post defender, Jake Wisniewski. Matt Pomoka spots up for a three, and the night continues for him as a rough one where he just can't find the basket.
Bad shot there by Pomoka. Really had too much time left there on the shot clock. In transition, didn't get his feet set, off balance. Not a great look there for Monomoy. You got to set down the offense, get the ball to Bobby Joy, allow it to run through the process. That gave Carver a quick look in transition and allowed senior guard Sean Willis to go to the free throw line shooting 2.
You can see the aggressiveness of Sean Willis so far in the second half. As not only has he been looking for his shots more often, he's been settling less outside and taking it more to the rack and drawing fouls on Monomoy defenders.
Sean Willis, the second leading scorer in the league after being held scoreless in the first half, now has 12 points in the second. It's been a different Sean Willis we've seen so far as he takes the jump shot, misses, rebound, Matt Pomoka.
Nice rebound by Matt Pomoko, and they call over the back on number 11, Jason Baker, who clearly was climbing Matt Pomoko like a ladder on that one.
That's going to be 1-1 for Monomoy. It looks like Matt Pomoka's going to the line. 1-1. Looks to knock down the first.
Uncharacteristic with his night so far, Matt Pomoka converts the first free throw and will hopefully go 2 for 2 and make it a 19-point game. He does. The score is now 57-38. Both teams in the bonus. If a foul is called, there will be a 1-for-1 situation, just like the one we just witnessed.
Those are his first points of the second half. Look for Pomoka, who got into foul trouble early, being very aggressive. What a take by guard Chris Willis. Off balance in traffic. Finishes, though. What a play by Willis.
Not only does he shake off the tough defense by Matt Pomoka, who's known as one of the better defenders, but he also gets the nice finish down low. Dave Nichols takes another 3 and doesn't make it that time. But based off of what he's done so far, it's not a bad idea.
Not the best look, but there are definitely worse ones. Nichols continuing to be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. Rose has to be happy, hasn't taken him out, and he's gotten solid minutes here in the second half.
Drawing a foul again is Anthony Robertson, using his height at 6'1" to drive to the rim, get the foul, and put up a shot.
Carver has really been aggressive in taking it to the rack so far. Robertson, this will be his 5th free throw attempt of the night. He's made his first 4, trying to stay perfect here at the line.
It's his first miss of the game, and Chris Missoula's will sub in for Eli Nickerson, who's put in some pretty good minutes so far in the fourth quarter.
55, make sure you manage up.
He makes the second, staying efficient from the line. Bobby Joy, of course, easily breaking the press. Carver continues to return to the press despite its ineffectiveness, only forcing 1 turnover so far.
Unable to fall for Matt Pomoka. Coach Roger King wanted to push off there on Bobby Joy, didn't get it, as Chris Willis in transition gets tied up, and they'll rule it a foul on Matt Pomoka.
And at this point, it seems that every single time Carver brings the ball in the paint, no matter whether they put up a good shot or not, all they have to do is flail their arms around, and the refs will call a whistle.
Excuse me, that was a foul on Chris Missoula's off the play. Seemed to be a hold, not where the ball was.
Carver is now in a double bonus, so they will get 2 free throws for every foul now for the rest of the game.
The Willis brothers seem to really leading this Carver team. Obviously great play by Chadwick, but it's really been the Willis brothers who have been in control and allowed Carver to extend this lead to 24 points here with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in the final quarter.
And it makes you wonder at this point why Carver still has so many of their starters in with such a significant lead. You would think at this point, it's just, they might as well get in some of their bench players, get in some sub minutes, and rush their starters. But the hustle continues by Anthony Robertson, who not only gives good defense, but forces the foul on Chris Missoula's. That's his 4th personal foul of the game.
4th foul on Missoula's, and it's an intentional one. So it'll be Anthony Roberson shooting 2, and it'll be Carver ball after the free throws.
The refs not putting up with anything so far this game. Not only are they willing to call fouls, they're willing to call technical fouls, as they will not put up with any nonsense by the players after the whistle. Usually a good thing, but at this point they should just let the players play.
Roberson 1 of 2 from the line. He is now 5 of 7 from the line on the night. Pretty good free throw shooting from the sophomore forward. It's been an interesting, inconsistent night so far for both teams from the free throw line, but Roberson has been pretty solid, going 5 of 7.
Sharks 10 fouls here, and Carver, of course, has their share of 7. Again, Casimir Watson using his height, although he doesn't have the best finishing ability, as you can see off of that first miss, but he barely had to jump for that second rebound. Went
that
right
really
up.
Starts, though, with the great pass from Casey Fernandez. What a look there by Chris Willis. Dumps it off the number 10, Anthony Roberson. Chris Willis with a great look, and it extends the Carver lead to 29. Blocked there from the 6'6" Watson, and Carver in transition once again.
You like the confidence of Jake Wisniewski to take it to the rack and use some of his muscle, but the height just too much there, as Casimir Watson easily blocks the shot. They tee them up again. Technical foul after technical foul after number 20 for Carver was talking too much after the whistle, and same with 14, Jake Wisniewski of Monomoy. Double technical here again. This has happened so many times this game, and you gotta wonder if at this point the refs are just blowing the whistle every single time any talk goes on after.
That's the 6th technical foul of the game. I don't think I've ever seen a game with this many technicals. 3 on Carver, 2 on Monomoy players, 1 on Monomoy coach Adam Rose. It's been an interesting night. They've been dominating, the refs have been really making their presence known. Obviously, 10 fouls on the Sharks so far in the second half, 7 on Carver. Both teams had 10 plus in the first half. The whistle's been blown a lot, and I don't think either coach is happy about it so far. Carver coach Roger King currently getting an explanation from the referee as to the reason for the technical on his junior center, Casimir Watson.
The no-nonsense approach has been clear so far from the refs, but you can see where the frustration is coming from, which is only leading to more technical fouls. At this point, you got to think that the players and the coaches just need to keep their mouths shut, because if they say anything out of the lines, which is a lot according to these refs, they might get teed up again, which both teams, well, maybe Carver can, but Monomoy definitely cannot afford that right now, as they are down by
This is where I'm really liking the composure of 8th grader Bobby Joy. I can't say it enough. You've seen other players on both teams, older players, upperclassmen who have been through this before, losing their composure. Matt Pomoka comes to mind. He's been very intense. He's been gotten 4 fouls called on him, had been in trouble all night. He's had a rough night. But it's been Bobby Joy, the calm 8th grader, very collected, very composed, managed to keep under control in a very intense situation. It'll be red ball, sophomore guard Kai Barrett inbounding it for the Crusaders, looking to inbound it. Correction, they're going to white ball.
Matt Pomoka, well known as a fiery player, but maybe he just needs to keep his cool before getting teed up again, and he takes the inbound, and the ball will most likely go into Bobby Joe, who has only played heavier and heavier minutes as the game has gone on, but doesn't show any signs of exhaustion, which just shows the stamina of the young player. There's confusion right now over the refs, over whose ball it is.
More confusion here. The referees are in a conference trying to figure out whose ball it is after the double technical. They called it red originally, switched it to white, and now they are going back to red ball. It is Carver possession, as number 30 sophomore guard Kai Barrett will inbound it to number 13 sophomore guard Casey Fernandez.
Sloppy performance so far from Monomoy, but perhaps even sloppier by the refs.
It's been a very intense, inconsistent night for both teams. Not a great shooting, a lot of fouls, technicals all over the
Good
place.
steal there by Weaver, and he gets up quickly to the fast guard, Matt Pomoka. He takes the easy layup. We need more of those types of plays. High energy play there by Weaver. Not the first time he's done this game either. I'd like to see him get some more minutes.
Matt Pomoka obviously got into foul trouble early, but he's been a starting guard for Monomoy all season. He's gotten into foul trouble, like I mentioned, but you can't match the defensive intensity that he brings, and there he comes up with the easy basket after getting out in transition. One of Monomoy's fastest players. That's something that they need a lot of speed. If they're not going to have the size to beat Carver, they need to have the speed to beat them in transition.
That was Bobby Joy's 4th foul of the game, but you like to see the hustle from the Monomoy guards, whether it's Weaver, Pomoka, or Joy, all putting in good defensive pressure out on the perimeter. If they had been doing this all game, maybe the score wouldn't be quite what it is at 27.
Kai Barrett misses the free throw. He's 0 for 2 from the floor, 0 for 1 from the line. It's been a rough night shooting, although he knocks down the free throw, his first of the game, and that is his first point of the game. Barrett on the board.
Matt Pomoka now bringing up the ball instead of Bobby Joy, perhaps giving him the rest of the ball handles before he gets it right back. Looks for David Nichols in the same spot where he's taken a lot of threes so far this game. Bobby Joy gets it down to Weaver, who's undersized but uses his strength to spin out of the post and draw the foul on number 10, Anthony Robertson. Weaver putting in some big minutes here so far in the last 30 or so seconds.
Carver coach Roger King making it very clear to his Crusaders as Monomoy brought the ball up the floor that time. If you commit a foul, you will come out of the game. Move your feet, play defense the way it's supposed to be played. Very clear with number 13, Casey Fernandez, the sophomore guard. Obviously, he didn't commit a foul, but that is a foul on number 10, Anthony Robertson. Didn't come out of the game as Weaver Seelan missed the first free throw. Excuse me, he made both, and now it is 68-42 Carver. My bad.
Number 4, Chris Willis fakes the handoff to 10, Anthony Robertson, before giving it down low. The ball makes its way back outside to number 13, Casey Fernandez. Makes the corner shot. Quick offense here by Monomoy. Another good move by Weaver as he spins around the defender the second time. And for the second time in a row, it is effective and he will head to the line. Again, Weaver having some huge minutes. If only you could have seen him play some more minutes over some players that have been struggling, like Matt Pomoka. Although he's one of the more talented guards, he is not shot well from the field.
That's another missed free throw for Weaver Seelan. That is his 3rd missed free throw of the night. He's got to convert these if he wants to keep these minutes that he's been getting from Coach Adam Rose. It was a good take there from Anthony Robertson. Didn't get the call, though. Moved his feet a little bit, but that's a 50-50 call that just didn't go Carver's way.
Teams now almost even in fouls. Carver now at 9, Monomoy now at 10. Both ways, just lots of fouls. You could call it sloppy play, but I just think it's these refs in general.
One thing to point out, it is Christian Blakely, the freshman forward for Monomoy, getting minutes now for the Sharks. He enters the game with about 2 minutes remaining in the final quarter. He's getting some minutes at forward, and he provides another physical body that the Sharks lack.
It's good to see him get some minutes because he's always played very well in the JV games, and we knew he was a swing coming into the year. Although he hasn't gotten a lot of minutes, he's a big kid for only a freshman, and hopefully if he can grow a little bit more, his role will only expand.
It's a
nice finish.
Great take there by Casey Fernandez, left-handed kid, so he goes to a strong side, finishes though in traffic. Speaking of Blakely, he's got to step up there, slide over into the lane, get in front of Fernandez. Fernandez was able to finish that because Blakely only reached for the ball instead of moving his feet.
Lots of fresh legs in now from Monomoy. But Bobby Joy, Dave Nichols, and Matt Pomoka continue to get heavy minutes. You like the defensive effort there by Bobby Joy, but it's just not enough. These Monomoy defenders have to stop reaching for the ball and start putting their hands up. Hands-up defense is very important for a team like Monomoy that's undersized.
Very impressed so far, though, with the reserve guards of these Carver Crusaders. Obviously, we mentioned the Willis brothers a lot, but it's been Kai Barrett and Casey Fernandez who have really succeeded and done well so far in the second half, especially here in the fourth quarter, although Barrett misses the free throw.
Matt Pomoka again takes up the ball, goes back to his signature runner, which he usually has a lot of success of and has been known for using it over the years. Tonight, however, it has not had a lot of success. Bobby Joy perhaps taking after Matt Pomoka as they both love to go to that shot with their lack of height.
Pomoka obviously having a rough night in the lane, not getting that floater to fall. It's been very inconsistent, usually very successful on a high percentage shot, but just not falling for Pomoka tonight.
Christian Blakely makes a wise decision to get it out to Dave Nichols. Will swing it over to Eli, who can't convert on the three. Again, good defense by Weaver. Forces the steal, recovered by Matt Pomoka, and stolen right back from number 30, Kyle Barrett. Chris Willis makes the three, but it will not count because of the traveling call. Again with the traveling, all calls in general, whether it's traveling, technical fouls, or personal fouls, lots of them so far this game. Both sides.
Questionable call there. The Carver bench and Chris Willis himself definitely disagreed. Thought he took a dribble there before taking 2 steps, although the ref disagreed.
Eli makes a nice pass out to Matt Pomoka, who airballs the three. You can just see he's a little off right now. It could be because he's a little afraid to do too much because he knows how eager the refs are to blow a whistle, whether it's a travel or a technical foul, but definitely not himself tonight.
That'll be an over the back on Christian Blakely, the freshman forward who we just mentioned earlier. That's his first of the night, and it'll be Kai Barrett going to the line once again. He is 1 of 3 so far from the charity stripe. Here he is shooting 2.
Carver, of course, in the double bonus. And he sinks the first free throw, increasing the Carver lead to 34.
Knocks down the second, gets them to 60% from the charity stripe on the night. It's been one of Carver's more successful free throw shooters. Good moves there by Pomoka, showing his speed and quickness and ball handling skills, getting by number 13, Casey Fernandez.
Weaver makes a nice give and go with Matt Pomoka, who finds Eli Nickerson in the corner, but he can't make it again. That's the second time Eli has missed a three. And it looks like the game will wrap up here as Carver will just dribble it out. It was a nice effort from both teams, but very sloppy play overall. Both teams ended with a lot of fouls. Monomoy with 10, Carver with 9. Lots of technical fouls both ways and traveling calls. Big win for
Score
Carver
here, 77-42. Carver with a 35-point victory. It was not exactly a pretty night for either team. Like you mentioned, Ben, lots of fouls. 6 technical fouls coming in this game. It drops the Sharks to 0-8 on the floor. And it was a tough night again for the Sharks. 0 for 8. 0-8 on the season now. Carver moves to 5-4, gets over 500. And to me, it was really the play of the Willis brothers in the second half, as well as the contributions by Casey Fernandez and Kai Barrett in the second half, specifically the fourth quarter, that allowed Carver to extend their lead from 17 at the half to 35 at the end.
We'd just like to thank both of our good cameramen and camera women here. We have Eliza Hawthorne and Jan Lipinski putting in great camera work, and also a quick shout out to our TV and video teacher, Mr. Cass, who helped us put together this entire production.
Leading scorers tonight are actually both Willis brothers with 13. Jared Chadwick, also had 13 after being held scoreless in the second half. All 13 points coming in the first. It was a rough night, not a lot of scoring from these Monomoy Sharks, putting up 42 points on the night. Looks like Chris Mazzulis was one of the leading scorers. He put in a pretty solid night. He converted 4 of 6 free throws, shooting 66% from the line. Hit a 3 in the third quarter. It's not a lot of scoring, though, and you have to attribute that to some of the lack of the size.
Thank you to all for listening. This was a Monomoy Regional High School production, and it was a tough game, but it was nice to watch, and we like to see all of the young players from Monomoy potentially showing flashes of the future. Yet again, thank you for listening, and good night.